Monday morning coffee. How are you guys doing? Un buen café. Actually, this is from a movie. I think that's Yes Man, if I'm not mistaken, with Jim Carrey, which is a great movie, by the way. If you haven't seen the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey, that is something that you've got to add into your library, because that is something that it's a little bit related to what we're doing here and what I'm doing with my clients, is to embrace the possibilities and embrace the yes, saying yes. And I'm going to bring an example of what happened, because last week on the Monday morning coffee, we had our first hater, which is good, because that means that we are making noise, and some people which normally wouldn't channel or wouldn't be on this platform decided that they're going to watch. And that person was telling this is all fluff. Well, it could be if you want this to be, but you can see what you're looking for inside of what I'm saying, and then you're going to see what you're going to get out of it. So it's always a question of what are you looking at? And I mean, that person, I would have kept them, because I think that's good engagement. I love to exchange with person which is a hater, which doesn't understand anything and have an opinion, and are just like basically verbal vomiting. Her name is Rita, by the way. Like, so if you have friends which are tuning in here, say hi to Rita for me, because my team says, no, we boot her. So she's out. She can now no longer be part of this, because she did not try to engage and see how that we can together co-create. She just wanted to be a bully. And this is the problem with bullying, is that, yeah, okay, you make your point, but now you just lost. In the grand scheme of things, you're losing. And you've got to understand that part. So, yeah, she got booted. And, I've been looking, and this is one part that you've got to understand, guys. When you expose yourself on social media, we see everything. Like, if you are just a little bit attentive, and if you study this type of material, and if you study like human behavior, I mean, I can go to your profile and I'm gonna know what type of person you are, and I'm gonna see what is your pattern and all those things, just by looking at what you're posting and the pictures that you're putting, the type of self-image that you have on yourself. I mean, it is a mirror. So if you think that you are hiding behind your computer and just write a bunch of crap to other people, and you make other people want other people to feel bad, well, you're going to get caught if you are talking to someone that knows what he's talking about. So, yeah, you're out, lady. But because we are into a positive environment here, we want to make sure that, and she did get that either, it's to be able to start your week the right way and to communicate. And I see now there's some people which are engaging. Good morning, hello, good morning. We can only describe our world outside the way we describe our world inside. Wow. Sean is my sales director. Great guy. I had the pleasure to meet him when he came to Toronto at the last training that we had, and we're able to exchange. He's a big thinker. He loves to think, and he loves to reflect on things. And he's consuming this material from Bob Proctor like there's no tomorrow. And the truth is, it's not about just consumption. He's studying it, and he's reflecting on it, and he's writing, and he's reinventing himself. And he always claimed I used to be a lone wolf, and now, I'm having a sales team of 23 people. Now, can you believe that? He considered himself to be a lone wolf. And now there's 23 people in his team. and everybody is absolutely enthused and blessed to be part of his team. So that is the type of leader he is. So thank you to have you here. But we have a bunch of people already. Z is there, Don Wimmer. Hi, Ronnie, Alfredo. Good morning. Key has joined, Adrian, Shelley, Declan, my man. Declan, actually, this week we're releasing the podcast on this wonderful man from Ireland, which you're going to hear a little bit about his story and what Ireland is. And Declan went from nothing to be able to make 6 figures in a weekend. Nothing to be able to make 6 figures in a weekend. Now, try to wrap this in your head. I mean, he was working at dividing his garbage with his neighbor to be able to save money. Now, if you think about it, if you're working at dividing your garbage so you can save money, and now he's earning 6 figures in a weekend, how is this possible? Do you think that he was doing like Rita was doing and start bashing people just because that, I don't know, which, by the way, I think that she said that she's Irish as well, and you don't mess up with Irish people. Well, my man Declan here is Irish, and he can see the beauty in things. And then he was able to change his life, not just his life, but the life of his family, the life of everybody he's touching, the life of everybody in his surrounding. And that's truly what this material is all about, if you are open. So that's the first thing that you need to do. Sean, as I mentioned, Joe Melling, good morning. Danduan, Francisco Estrada, good morning. I haven't seen you for a while, man. Good to see you here. Shelly says hello. Jonathan, good morning. Linda Roberts, buenos dias, Danduan. Annie is a fellow consultant from Canada. She has a beautiful personality. Good to have you here. Sarvan, I think that I pronounced this properly. Clarenelda, sorry for messing up your name. Sheila, salut Marc, salut. Dominic, good morning, Marc. Say hi to our future colleague, Sarvan. Oh, it's our future colleague. Good to have you here, and welcome to the family. From South Africa. Beautiful. And that's what I love about this, is like we can truly connect with people from all over the world, and it's happening just like that. Just like that. And that is the world that we're living in. But in order for you to embrace this world, you've got to start cleaning up your surrounding. And this is what my team for today is all about. This is something that we've been working at in the past couple years, I would say. I started cleaning up my surroundings, start cleaning up the people I'm hanging out with, the friends I'm having. And don't take this the wrong way. You know, it's nothing against you. It's nothing that you've done wrong. It's just that we are not necessarily at the same frequency, at the mental frequency. Now, you have to understand that in order for you to start gathering, to start bringing into your experience the thing that you want, you need to elevate yourself to that thing that you want. Now, let me rephrase that. Our thinking, our thoughts is energy. Okay? So when I'm having a thought, that thought penetrates all time and space simultaneously. So I can have a thought right now, and that same thought will be somewhere in, I don't know, it can be in Africa. Like we have someone in South Africa. That thought I'm having will be simultaneously in Africa at the same time. There's no time and space into the world we're living in. Now, we've been conditioned that what we're living is what we see. We can hear, see, smell, taste, and touch. That's an illusion. That is not true. Now, for sure, like the material world that you're living, that is the representation of what you're thinking. So if you want to have a different experience in your life, you've got to start thinking differently. And as well, you've got to start cleaning up the people that are in your surrounding. You are not getting what you want, you're getting who you are. Now, just wrap your head around that statement, because that is very important that you understand that. We are not getting what we want, we are getting what we are. So you've got to become the person that you intend to be in order to start getting that. And for you to get that, you've got to start thinking differently. So you've got to elevate your frequency at a totally different level. And that level, if you continue hanging out with the same people, which are thinking the same things, which are, looking to go, oh, Friday is there, finally Friday is there, I can start living, I can start partying and just like waste myself to I have no idea to what degree, and I can live this way, well, that is the type of experience that you're going to continue bringing into your life. Does that mean that you cannot have fun? No. Like, this is where I love, like, when the realistic people are just coming around and says they're always giving you that example. No, the worst example they can think, that's the one they bring. Then that shows you where their mind is at. Like Rito. Rito is exactly like this. I gave value, and she doesn't have to consume it. Like, I didn't force it to her, but the only thing she saw was the negative in it. So guess how her results are? They're probably shitty. She probably have shitty results. And how do I know that? Because I look at, like, a little bit what type of person she is through her profile. So it tells me that what is it that you want? And this is why my team says, no, we don't want this into our surrounding. We don't want this into our environment. She's gone. Says, okay, now I'm a good follower into this. If my team says, like, this is the way we go, okay, that's the way we go. And that's it. They tell me, like, this is what you have to do. Give that value. I'm giving that value. You've got to learn to be a good follower, an intelligent follower, actually. Now, being an intelligent follower doesn't mean that you follow whoever tells you something. Being an intelligent follower is you're following someone that has proven that he knows what he's talking about by results. So you look at the results that they're having, and then you are following that. This is what you need to do, okay? That is what being an intelligent follower is. So having cleaned up the house or our surrounding in the past couple of years led us to encounter great people in our life. And that was just absolutely beautiful. And I have friends all over the world now, all over the world. I can go pretty much anywhere on the planet, and I can call someone, and I can meet with someone for coffee. Now, it's not that I'm going to go and crash on your couch, because I don't crash on couches anymore. Done. I'm done with that, right? So don't worry about that. But I can go anywhere in the world as we speak, and I know someone there, and someone that, like, I truly care for, and probably they care for me. I hope so. But why I did that? Because I cleaned my surrounding. Sometimes we're having friends that, like, we've been friends with for many, many years, and And they served us and we served them, and it was a good relationship. But it comes to a point where that there's absolutely nothing. And then you stay friend with them. Why? For what reason? Like your path, your thinking, your ideas are totally going in different direction. So there's two things that's gonna happen. Either you're gonna talk and you're not gonna have a conversation, which is understandable. Like you're gonna talk differently, or you're gonna argue. Like which one do you want? I want neither of them. So what do? Like, does that mean that you have to call them and says, hey, friend, we're not gonna be friend anymore. So I don't want to see you again. No, that's not what you're doing. Is naturally you accept the fact that you are at the different level. And when I said different level, you're not better. I don't consider myself better than Rita. Like I'm just not at the same level that she is. And is she in a better level than I am? No. It's not better. It's just I'm not vibrating at the same frequency. So why would I waste my time engaging in talking to people like this, where at the end of the day, it doesn't bring me anything, and I'm not going to bring them anything because they don't understand what I'm saying. And you cannot save everybody. Okay? So get this shit out of your head. You're not going to be able to save everybody. I'm looking at, like, there's this thing about empathy. Like, I don't believe in empathy, by the way. And that's a bold statement. I don't believe in empathy. I believe in sympathy. But I'm not going to put myself into the shoes of someone else to feel what they're feeling. Why would I do that? Am I going to be able to help that person if I do that? Oh, yeah, Mark, but you're going to be able to understand. I can understand by looking at that person and say, you know what? I sympathize with you, but the way that you're thinking is not right. But it's not by putting myself into his shoes and feeling the same crap that they're feeling, because empathetic people, like normally they have that tendency that they start to get, you know, they get emotionally involved with the crap of other people. Why would you do that? Tell me, why would you do that? And that is exactly about that surrounding. If you are an empath and you have difficulty with that, like, try to change that empathy with sympathy. Now, being sympathetic is extremely important. That is one of the main characteristics of a leader, like understanding what another person is experiencing. That is extremely important. But being empath, no. I mean, and I remember the first time that my friend explained to me what empathy was, I was just like, that's absolutely insane, man. Like, why would I do that? Like, why would I do that? I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, I don't get why I put myself into the shoes of someone else. How can I relate? I cannot relate. I'm losing myself. Which the only way that you can serve others is to truly and fully be yourself and embracing who you are and getting better at who you are. So then the better you are, the better you can help other people. And that's truly, I believe, the way you can serve other people. So I don't know where I was going with, oh yeah. So like basically if you see people that they're not serving you anymore, they're not part of your environment, like just let them go. And naturally, by elevating yourself to a different frequency, a different way of thinking, surrounding yourself with that type of people, which are thinking just like you would like to think, and start acting like the person you would like to act, you will attract into your environment and into your experience the very same. And that is truly as simple as it is. That works like this. So I can see, and I mean, I've been letting go some people that I really, truly loved, but we were not at the same frequency. I mean, I met one of them not long ago, and we talked, and I was really happy to see him. And I mean, nice person, very nice, very gentle, like good heart and all this. But then we talked and it went right back to old shit. And the only place that we have commonality is with a common interest we have. That's the only thing. When we talk about this, then like I saw the energy was good. But everything else, it was just like, nah, fucking bored. I'm leaving. You know? So what's the point? Why would I do that? Actually, yesterday I was coming back from cinema with my daughter, and there's a place, it's a Belvedere, and it looks over the ocean, just beautiful spot. And there's always people which are hanging out there. And on Sunday afternoon, there's always those families. Like in the Mexican families, you know, there's always like 20 people in there. So there's always those families which are sitting there and they have the cooler and they're drinking beer. And they're shooting the shit, probably, you know, laughing and looking at the paysage. And I was passing there and I just saw, and the very first thing that comes into my mind was like, can't believe I used to do that. Because I saw that, and the very first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to go study. And then for the rest of the afternoon, I was restless. But Sunday is my day. I don't work. So I grabbed a book, read a little bit. But I was restless. I mean, and then my wife was looking at me, was like, man, what's up with you? It kind of disturbed me that I used to think this way. Now, was I mad at myself? No, it's not that I was mad. I was just disturbed, and then I needed to reflect on that. I needed to reflect on that aspect, and that gave me as well a good thing to talk with you today. Let me check like if we have some comments there. Of course, we can only progress as fast as we are coachable. Like one thing that my man Sean is always saying, you need to be coachable. If you're not coachable, you're never going to be part of his team. I tell you that. Some friendship happen because of event. Some are forged because of purpose. Well, it's a good thought. It's a good thought. We know, like he says, we know how important our energy and vibration is. Absolutely. Ali is there. Yes. You can't help others by taking unnecessary damage. No, like you should never do that. So I would like to read you a little passage from As a Man Thinketh. If you don't have this book, this is a must. Bob is saying there's 3 books that are his favorite. Number 1 is Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. That is a must, right? Then the second one is U Square from Price Pritchett. If you haven't read that book, that is very insightful. And probably it's going to sound, you're going to feel a little lost, as a matter of fact, when you read U Square from Price Pritchett, because he's pushing the envelope like extremely hard. And then As a Man Thinketh from James Allen, that one is like you need to have that. Okay, it's very, very important. This is 3 books that you should have in your library if you want to succeed at any realms of life. And that's it. If you have those 3 books and you study them, now not read them. You don't read a book, you study a book. Okay? You read a novel. And even that, you know, when you're going to read it a second time, a third time, a fourth time, like the story is going to change. It's going to evolve. Why? Because you changed. You evolved. And he said, I understand going through the same thing with some friends. Yeah, let them go. Let them go. That's good. Like there's no problem, and you don't do it in a negative way. You just don't contact them anymore. And when they contact you, you know, you're polite, you're kind, you care, but like that is not necessarily people that you want to hang out with. And if you do, like, you know, be in the same place, you will see like the energy tells everything. Like often we we have to stop living by what we can hear, see, smell, taste, and touch, and start living by our higher faculties. So what your intuition tells you, what your perception tells you, what your thinking tells you. Like, that is truly how you should live. And that is called thinking into results. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, shoot me a DM. I'm going to explain that. So in that book, As a Man Thinketh, in the chapter on effect in circumstances, he says, every thought seed sown are allowed to fall into the mind. Every thought seed sown or allowed to fall into the mind and to take root there, produce its own. Wait a second. I don't know if you picked that up, but that's very important. Every thought seed sown or allowed to fall into the mind and to take root there, produces its own, blossoming sooner or later into act and bearing its own fruitage of opportunity and circumstances. Man, this is so good. This is so good. I'm going to repeat that again. Every thought seed sown or allowed to fall into the mind and to take root there produces its own, blossoming sooner or later into act and bearing its own fruitage of opportunity and circumstances. Good thoughts bear good fruit. Bad thoughts, bad fruit. And that is the reason why Rita, she got booted. Because we don't want to have bad fruits into our surroundings. The bad fruits will bring bad results, bad thoughts, bad people, bad circumstances, bad effect. Call it. And the idea of Monday morning coffee is to bring good, is to make you wake up and start your day and start your week the right way. Start your week with this feeling, you know what? I'm going to make this week epic. I'm going to make this week successful. I'm going to make this week better than I ever had it before. And that is a choice, guys. And from the moment you make that choice and that you are surrounding yourself with the right people, the right fruits, you're going to bear good fruits, good results, good effect, good circumstances. And that is your choice. So I'm going to take the last couple minutes to finish this. Think truth regardless of appearances. That is a something which is extremely important but extremely difficult to do. As a matter of fact, I forgot the sentence right now, but it's Michael Beckwith, which says this. He says something, I'm paraphrasing right now because I don't have the exact, but he says, we don't describe what we see what we describe. And that's exactly what he says. Just came back to me. We don't describe what we see what we describe. So you got to see it first in your mind. And if you see good in your mind, you're going to see good in your outside conditions, circumstances, effect. And that is why we are doing Monday morning coffee. I hope that you're going to have a spectacular week this week. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And I wish you the very best week. And if you have a comment, questions, anything, DM me or just write the comment right here if you're on your laptop, or at the bottom if you are on your cell phone. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week. Peace out.